Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and today I'd like to share with you a simple graduation card. Last week I shared with you a pop-up version and it was very popular, but I want to show you a simple one using the exact same stamp set for those quick cards that you might need to get going. So I'm going to switch over my camera and share with you. You need some simple supplies. The cap and gown stamp set. You probably could use some other options that are out there, but I've designed this card with cap and gown, and you're going to need just some simple cardstock options. This is a very flat, mailable card. You're going to want a half a sheet of cardstock. I am using Cherry Cobbler. This is just a 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. And then you're going to need a piece of basic white for the inside, 4 inches by 5 1/4. You're going to need another piece of basic white that we are going to stamp on. This one is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then I've got a layer piece. This is smoky slate. It is 4 inches by 5 1/4. You would coordinate with your school colors if you didn't want to use these two. So whatever your options are, and I've got at the end of this video another layout similar layout option and different colors. So just kind of stepped up a little bit with that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use some Stampin' blends. I'm going to use some Tuxedo Black Memento ink. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would so appreciate you doing so. Also, keep in mind that any orders that you place, if they are under the $150, because if with $150 or more right now, you still get host benefits. If you would, though, use my host code for anything that's below that $150, and this host code is good through the beginning of June 7th specifically. So I have put the two hands together. There's a right and a left hand in this stamp set, and I've just butted them up next to each other so that I can stamp both. And so what I'm doing is I'm coming along the bottom of my cardstock, and I'm going to stamp one set of hands here. And then I'm going to scoot over and I'm going to stamp the other set of hands, and I'm going to hope I'm not off of the paper, but I might be overlapping it just a teeny bit here. Let's see how we did today. Actually, not too bad. So I've got those stamped, and then I'm going to take the graduation cap, and I want to have it up in the air. And so I'm going to kind of tip this one as if this graduate tossed theirs that way. And I'm going to take this one, putting it a little higher, and I'm going to stamp it there. I'll clean my blocks after a bit. I've got the congratulations graduate, and I'm going to stick that up in this empty space, and I'm going to move it. The one card I had done, I had put it a little further over, so I'm going to kind of come here. I'm going to show you my finished here in a minute, but like so. That's awesome. And then I'm going to go ahead while no, I won't. I'm going to wait because I'm going to pull this out. So then what I would do is I'm going to go ahead and color. And I'm not going to color everything because I have a finished sample, but I've got just the dark version because I wanted these to stand out a little darker. You would color in, and I know for those who aren't fans of coloring, this might not work for you, but it is very simple coloring. And this stamp set works so well for this. And I'm going a little beyond. I'll kind of show you my tip for how this works, because I didn't want to have the shorty hands. So I'm going to come in all the way down to the base of the cardstock here. And you would do that on both sides. So I'm going to come just on this hand. We won't do both of them, to kind of show you what I would do. So I'm going to come beyond where the stamping is. I've gotten just a little bit beyond there, and this is a good place to show our color corrector. And the color corrector really, I think, is more aptly named color pusher. It's kind of a pushy thing because you can push that color back. Then on the hats, you have to be a little careful with how close you get in. Alcohol markers will kind of bleed out, so you don't need to get it as close as you think, because on these tight little spaces, you just need to get close to it, and it'll kind of bleed in as it goes. So just to kind of keep in mind that I'm using a very light touch as I'm close there, and kind of the same thing along here. I'm going to come into the corners just ever so lightly, and we go. And we'll do just one. Again, I've got a finished card to share with you, but I don't want to take all the time to color. But I do want to share with you just that there are a few tips with using the blends. They are indeed my favorite coloring tool. I am not one that loves solid color stamping so much, though I will do that. So coming into here, just fill it in. And again, I'm doing very simple color book type coloring with the blends. I don't do the blending as much. The nice thing is that you can keep layering on, and it doesn't pill up the fibers in your paper. So then I've got what I did was two different colors of the natural tones. This one I'm using here was the medium light combo pack, and this was number 700, and they're kind of not necessarily numbered, and so it gets a little challenging, some of those. But I love the fact that we have some options with hand color, skin color, and you can do, and the second card I did, I kind of went a whole different way than this, and so I'll kind of step through that when I'm done here in sharing with you the second card option, because I think sometimes that might be a better option for you. So again, you can make different colored skin tones by using different blends. You don't have to stick to just one of the colors. You can mix, and by mixing you will get different tones. And so there really are just multiple different colors of skin tones that you can get with our natural blends, our natural tones blends. So I'm going to go like so. And if you're doing any of the people stamps, the natural tones really are a must. I don't think it's an if. You will want them. So I'm going to use then the dark of the smoky slate, because I wanted a silverish color, more of a gray. And I'm just going to kind of come in on the tabs. And then what I found worked really, really well was to then just draw along the lines of the tassel, like so. And then I think that looks really pretty good. So I told you I have a little tip for here. So grab a Sharpie marker, a fine tip Sharpie marker once you're done coloring, and you can then come in and extend that line and make it match out like this, so that it looks as though you stamped it and you intended it to look that way. So then we're going to go ahead and assemble. I know I'm not finished there, but it's close, and I've got a finished sample for you. So I'm going to fold along that score line. I've already scored it at the 4 1/4 mark. I'm going to use my bone folder, get a nice crisp fold. We're going to go ahead and attach, because I can still finish stamping coloring all of this in. You see how it bleeds through the back side. I said make a fairly quick card, and when you need a fast graduation card, this is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to get it stamped and in the mail. And this allows you with a little thickness to have your maybe a gift card in there, which are a little thicker. So I kind of like that. So like so, it kind of allows you to have a whole thick part in here. And then I've told you, we've got the inside. So let's get that inside. I'm going to use whatever color you're using for your card base, which is for me, Cherry Cobbler. So I'm going to grab Cherry Cobbler ink. And I've got the inside, that all of the hard work was worth it. We're going to stamp it right in the center, toward the top, like so. Again, I will clean that later. And then I'm going to grab that graduation diploma. I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to stick it right below that portion. Gets where you're using almost all of the stamps in this stamp set this way. And then again, I'm going to take and ink up, and this is one of those other areas. Remember, I told you you don't have to really get very close. You just need to get almost, because it'll start to bleed into those tiny sections if you're just super, super light with your touch. You cannot push heavy, or you will have ink bleeding all over the place. So don't need much. And then that will be ready to go on the inside. So let me turn this over, put it along the inside of our card, and then I will share with you the finished card that I've already done. So here is our process. Here is the one that I'd already done ahead of time. And so you can see how I've colored 2 different skin tones. My graduation was there, and the inside is so fun, simple. And then I told you I had done a different version. So in this one, I only used the right hands, and I stamped it along the bottom, just like I had done here. I extended my sleeves based on how high I took the hands, and then I have more hats in the air, and then I just stamped the congratulations graduate in the same color as the school color, and then popped it up. And so on this one I've used shaded spruce, and I've used the dark of the Daffodil Delight, and then I'm using crushed curry, which the dark Daffodil Delight and crushed curry are very similar. So, and then I could get a lot more ethnicities of my hands. And then on the inside, I did very much the same thing. So kind of giving you a different option. If you followed my previous video, which I will have come after this one, just in case you hadn't seen it already, I had shared this pop-up kind of gatefold card. And with that, I had said that if you sign up for my mailing list, I would send you the tutorial that I've put together for the pop-up card. And so if you are a new subscriber to my email list, I will still honor that, and I will send to you an email my tutorial to make this pop-up graduation card. And then I did want to mention before I get off that I've got some free online classes coming. I'm still working on figuring out how to stream onto YouTube, but I have some classes set up, free online classes, and with a purchase of, I believe I've got it set up to have purchases of 50 or more, I will send you the pack of cards in the mail following that. But I've got them set up for the end of the month. from May this month all the way through October and ongoing. Hopefully everything will go well at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is the same time as Arizona. That's the state I live in. So that varies beyond what other area you are in, but it will be recorded then on video as well. But thanks again for joining me. I'm so happy that you've stopped by, and hopefully you have fun making some graduation cards. With that, have a wonderful rest of your day, and make sure that you do please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll talk to you again soon.